Amber.
Hey, Fiona, I just spilled my tea, sorry.
As a trainee broker, I just wanted to know what are the steps for the loan process up to settlement?
Oh, okay, very good question. Let's go through that, because that's something both of you basically, you have to understand. Being sales and marketing and being aspiring brokers, you need to understand how a lead progresses, right? So let's say first and foremost, you get a lead. We'll do a separate training on lead generation as well, which probably we'll do on Thursday or Friday, this Friday. But let's assume that you've got a lead. You went to, let's say, Happy Cafe R, and there's a customer who's interested in buying a property. Okay.
Yeah.
So you get a lead. You get a name and a number and an email ID. Mostly mobile number, right? So you have to be very careful when you, especially when you're doing Happy Cafe hours. It's very important that these three sets of information you have to have, and try to have full name, because normally what used to happen earlier when we used to do Happy Cafe hour, we would only take a first name. Then you can't store the customer's number on your phone. That's very, very important. Reason being, I learned, because I come from a sales and marketing background, and I worked for IBM for like so many years, and you know what they say is that as soon as you get a lead, put it in your phone. As soon as you get a customer name and number, put it in your phone straight away. So you have to have their full name, surname and first name, right? And secondly, because we normally sort of correspond via email, so you have to have their email ID as well. Sometimes, when we used to do Happy Cafe hour earlier, sometimes, people would just take a free coffee and they'll give you wrong name and number.
Yeah.
So now, because we are now started to do as apply online, like, straight away you get their details in the system. So the email will bounce back immediately if they give you wrong email. But normally 99% of people, they give the right, genuine people, but 1 or 2 we can get, doesn't matter. Don't get disheartened because of that, okay? So that's number one. You have to have their basic details: name, full name, number, and email ID, okay? Then what you do is, we have a form called Fact Finder, which I showed you as well, and Fiona, you know as well. Immediately that lead has to go into, start a Fact Finder, open a Fact Finder. We call it, and I'm going to use some abbreviations by the way. So Fact Finder, let's call it FF, Fact Finder. Just, so why we need that? Because when you see the Fact Finder, the one I sent you this morning as well, that there are columns where you can put notes. So every day's activity, let's say you got a loan and a customer, and you give it to, let's say, one of the processing officers or the credit officer to work on it. Yeah. Now, whatever you are doing on the file, you have to put your notes with your name on it. Whatever that credit officer is doing, she or he has to put their name on it. So this is important, that you start the Fact Finder the day one. This is very, very important, yeah? Okay. Once that's done, secondly, put this name and number in your software. Now, whichever aggregator you are with, we are right now with the Plan, and their software is called Podium. So as soon as the name and number is there, straight away, why we do that? Fiona, would you know the answer? Why we straight away put it in Podium?
So that if we try to find their contact details, we know where it is.
Which is one answer, but also they get marketing emails automatically.
Yes, that's right.
So their birthday as well. In the first time we don't obviously see that, but let's say Christmas card or something, or any special offer, which Podium is marketing, they will get an email automatically. Yeah. So that's very important. So these two things are very, very important. Number 3, which is for anyone, let's say your manager, who is, let's say Rajiv, he's sort of monitoring your progress. So you have to create, we call it a WIP, which is Work in Progress Sheet. Work in Progress Sheet. So Work in Progress, I think, Fiona, I've already shown you a couple of times, which you have to start ASAP, because now your leads are coming in.
Yep.
So Work in Progress is, where is the application? When did you get the lead, for example, and I'll show you a copy of that as well. Wow. All the leads, let's say you got today, if they are recorded, And let's say today customer didn't proceed with the loan, for example. Maybe after 6 months you're calling them and they're proceeding with the loan. So at least you have their details handy. That's very important. So WIP is very, very important, yeah? So try to create, not try, but you have to create your own WIP.
Yeah.
Okay? So these 3 things are the first point of contact, okay? So this is number 1. Now, what happens after that? Fiona, can you put some, while I'm sneezing, whilst I'm sneezing, thank you. Fiona, can you put some thought to it? Once the lead comes, what happens then? What do we do? What's the first thing you do when you get the lead?
I do the pre-qualification.
Brilliant. Okay. So what you need to do is you do the pre-qualification. Let's call it just pre-qual. Yeah? Okay. Fiona, tell us, what do you do when you do the pre-qualification? Just give us a rough idea.
I ask for their current situation.
The
such
objective?
as- yes.
First of all, the objective. Like, what are they looking for?
Like to refinance or purchase.
Exactly. Perfect. So what are they looking for? You know, if they're refinancing, it's important why they're refinancing. What is their motivation behind it? Okay. So if they're refinancing, for example, are they not happy with their current bank, or they are paying a high rate and they want a lower rate, something like that, you know? So we have to find the objective, the mental stimulation, you can call it, behind this whole exercise, you know, why customer is asking for it, right? So number 1 is objective. Then we find the situation, meaning income, liabilities and all that.
Yes, so find out their current, if they're refinancing, find out their current loan details.
Perfect, yeah, exactly. So let's say if they're, okay, let's first go through the assets and liabilities.
Okay.
So you find out assets and liabilities. And the other day we actually did a training also. You can watch that YouTube clip where we did the training on borrowing capacity, you know, pre-qualification, how do you pre-qualify?
I actually did watch.
Perfect, alright, that's excellent. So, you know, their assets and their liabilities we need to figure out to do the pre-qualification, right?
Yeah.
And also you were saying, like, what's their loan amount? So let's say if they're refinancing a loan from one bank to another.
Yeah.
What items we need to check? This is very important, please note it down. So let's say if they're refinancing, the objective is to refinance from one bank to another. So first and foremost, we need to see a rough idea of the property value. Yeah. Why? Because if, let's say, their property value is $100, yeah, and their loan is, say, $90, will you refinance, Fiona?
90%.
Will you refinance it?
No.
Good answer. Why? Because
The LVR is too high.
LVR is too high. And but the answer is not the LVR is too high, because if you borrow more than 80%, you pay what?
LMI.
LMI, lender's mortgage insurance fee. So check one of the YouTube videos where it talks about lender's mortgage insurance fee. That's a fee which the client has to pay. Okay, so you have to make sure that you do not do a refi if it's more than refi if it's more than 80%.
Yeah.
Okay, this is very, very important. If, let's say, the loan to property value ratio is sitting close to 80%, what do we do first? We get the valuation ordered.
Yeah.
From a bank which you want to choose, basically, right? So this, you'll remember this refinance.
Yeah.
So you have to know the property value, loan balance, and the
interest rate.
they're paying. Perfect. So anytime you get a client who's looking to refinance, first question you say, what is your estimated property value? They may say, oh, I don't know. Normally people don't actually, they haven't sort of done the valuation recently. So just say, look, give us the address. We can do a bit of property search and we can find out, right? So that's number 1 for a refinance. Number 2, their loan balance. Yeah. So loan balance, you remember that?
Yep.
Loan balance. And the third one is what sort of interest rate they're paying. Because if they're paying, let's say, remember the other day you brought a client and Lily, you gave it to Lily, and he was paying 3.72, and Lily could only offer 3.7.
Oh, okay. No
that's
difference.
not exactly. Why would a client refinance their loan if they're already paying a similar sort of, just think
Yeah.
of it logically. So then just say to the client, look, we can't help. I mean, obviously we have 3.55, but if they need an offset or something, then we can't. So obviously if you have a loan and you're paying 3.72%, why would you change? Isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're not getting a good rate, why would you change? Isn't it simple?
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
simple
Exactly.
logic.
There's
It's a
no
simple
more
logic. I mean, that's the whole the whole idea of refinance.
To
is
get
that-
about lower repayments.
Exactly, to get better repayments and to get to save them money. Simple as that. We actually last week, remember, there were 2 clients we could save them 1,000 a month.
Yes.
I mean, imagine their situation, that we can save so much money to the right customer. Yeah. Any questions?
No.
All good?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so far so good.
Yeah.
Just stop me if you find any thing. Yeah. Okay. So first this details. Then we do the pre-qualification, and pre-qualification we'll do a separate training once again, just to make sure that you guys understand. And I'm gonna be asking you more questions then.
Okay. Yep.
It's okay. If it's a purchase, if the objective is a purchase, what questions, Fiona, do we ask?
We first asked if they are putting any deposit towards this.
Brilliant. For a purchase, number 1, we ask, what is your deposit or your savings? This is very, very important. And then we do the income calculation. I mean, the borrowing capacity, let's call it BC.
Yep.
Borrowing capacity calculation. Borrowing cap. And then after that, we figure out the value of the property. Because normally I've seen people ask us, oh, how much can I afford?
Yeah.
What can I buy? So the first question you ask is, okay, how much do you have in savings? And then do their borrowing capacity. Then obviously you can derive the value from
Yeah.
there. Simple as that. Yeah? You got that, Nulon?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. Excellent. All right. So that's for the purchase. So what you do in the second step, you find out their objective. Now, when one, and I think we'll probably stop here because then, if that goes a bit too long, then what happens is, after you have these 2 sorted, after this, yeah, after you have these 2 sorted, thirdly, you need to also find out the variables. Now, what are the variables? Fiona, can you tell the variables?
Would this be like the current properties they have?
Variables are normally, let's say you're a first home buyer. You're earning say 100,000. You're earning 100,000.
Yeah.
You're 2 separate customers, right?
Yes.
But you are a permanent employee and she's a contractor. So that's a variable for her, that she is not a permanent employee, she is a contractor.
Okay.
So these are the called variables, because the banks have different policies for different sort of income structure and different loan to value ratio. Another variable could be, let's say you're buying your first home, she's buying her first home. You have 10% saving, she has. Yeah, perfect. All right. Okay, that's all right. Take it. So you have 10% saving and she has only 5% saving. So these are the variables, because each case can differ. It's not necessary that first home buyer is a first home buyer is a first home buyer. You can't say that. Each case can differ. Even, let's say, for example, you have 5% saving, which is not genuine savings, meaning like you didn't have like your own savings, in one account for 3 months. So that's called genuine saving, which we'll do. There's a clip on that as well.
Okay.
There's a training tutorial on that as well. So check that. Ionica actually asked me that question. What is a genuine saving? So just learn what is a genuine saving by going on to that that tutorial. So this is how we consider the variables.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to understand first the objective. Who the client is, what is their borrowing capacity, and then the variables, and then according to these 3 sets of information, we find products. Yeah. Okay. Shall we say to be continued after that, or can we keep on going? Fiona, you tell us. Can we keep on going?
Yeah, we can keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me when to stop as per your this thing. Okay. So this is our second step, yeah? You
Yeah.
understand now? Pre-qualification.
Yes.
After you get the lead, put the name and number in your phone, email, in the system, start a fact finder, put it in the software, and create your own web,
Work in
which is work in
progress.
progress. Perfect. Okay. Second, do the pre-qualification. Normally we have this information on our website, apply, which I'm going to show you. So there's an apply button. In fact, the customer, and I should actually say that for the customers as well, they can actually, when they send us their information, they can go to our website and go through the apply button.
Yep.
And send us all this basic sort of information. Yeah. Okay. Now once you got that, normally what we do because then our credit manager or our senior people who know the number crunching and all that, their role starts as well. So what they need is in order to check the income, because sometimes clients say, oh, I earn 100,000, but when you check their payslip, there could be some reductions going on. There could be some voluntary superannuation happening and things like that. So you have to make sure that their income, you need 2 payslips to calculate their income, yeah? Recent two payslips, recent 2 payslips plus NOA, which is notice of assessment. What am I saying? Sorry. Let me just, the phone distracted me. My phone is ringing, so that distracted me. 2 payslips if they are PAYG. Actually, Fiona, can you make a note that next time we'll discuss about how to calculate income, we'll do separate sort of income calculations.
Okay.
So if, let's just do normal PAYG, full-time permanent employees.
Yep.
We need their recent 2 payslips plus their latest, whichever. Now these days we need 2018, but after August we'll need 2019
The tax
as well.
returns?
No. It's a PAYG.
Oh yes, that's right.
It's a group certificate. Remember PAYG summary. PAYG summary. Yeah. So we need that. Recent 2 payslips plus 2018 PAYG summary. Yeah.
What's PYG summary?
PAYG is like it's a pay as you go, like full-time employee. People who are permanent. Let's say you're working in the company and you are a PAYG, which is pay as you go,
Okay.
not a contractor. Yeah. So 2 payslips plus 2018 PAYG summary. Okay, that's what we need.
Yep.
Then we also, by the way, very importantly, first thing before that, you send a credit guide to the customer. And normally we have actually automated the system that when you get a lead, you straight away apply from here and the customer will get the credit guide. Actually, let me put one step here. From here, when you do the pre-qualification, you go to our website and apply from there. This is going to be very important because you know how Rajiv is now building up the leads the dashboard on the website, so that's going to be very, very important. So 4th step is, in order to do that, you have to first do this exercise.
Yep.
And this will send them a credit guide automatically, the compliance document.
Okay.
Yeah, automatically. So then you introduce yourself or the credit manager, whoever sort of liaises with the client, introduce directly saying that we need your recent 2 payslips and this, and plus any relevant information, let's say, saving document or whatever, just minimal document in the beginning so that we can figure out their borrowing capacity and we can figure out the products.
Yep.
Now, after you have given them the products, let's say this is the second one, this is the documents checklist, and very importantly, send them Equifax, which is their credit check. So now we've started doing the credit checks as well. And very, very important, when you send them credit guide, payslip request, then send this Equifax as well, which is like we can do their credit check before we send it to the bank. Okay. All right. Once this is all here, then our 4th step, I would say, the 3rd step is document collection. 4th step is products. Then we send them the products with all those disclaimers.
Yep.
Now let's do another tutorial on products separately.
Okay.
How we send the products and how we liaise with the client to send them 3 products, 3 shortlisted with the disclaimers and all that. Yeah, it's very, very important how we do that. You guys have to understand the processes. Okay, once let's say the client says yes, let's say product number product 1 they need to start off with. After that, you need to start collecting all their documents. Once the documents are here, then we need to start the application. An application, send it back to the client. They sign it, send it back to us, and then we lodge it once they sign and send it back to us. And after we lodge it, then it's the back-end processing system. Basically they follow up with the bank, or if there's anything pending, or so that process we can go step by step. When you start to get your own files, your own leads, then you can start understanding these processes, how to order valuations, how to fill out forms and everything. That will go step by step. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So let's say product is selected, and then application process, and then once they sign the application, then we call it lodgement. So lodgement to the bank. So we are already now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 step.
Yep.
At 7th step we lodge it. Once they sign it and they confirm the product and everything. Okay. So once we lodge it, after that all the residual, that we'll elaborate on these step by step.
Yes.
I just want to give you the overview of because it was supposed to be 15 to 20 minutes training tutorial. So I want to give you the overview, what happens when you get a lead. So
when is it when you find out their living expenses?
Yeah, that's when you get the documents.
Okay.
Yeah, when you get all
And
the documents
that's when you get their
at
statements?
step 3.
Okay, no
All
worries.
the statements, everything, income, everything, you name it. Like these days, living expenses are very, very important.
Yeah.
So when we get the checklist, checklist,
Yeah.
all the docs, statements, and everything. And we have now affiliated with the company called bankstatements.com.au, and their link is so easy to use. Customers just have to click on the link, and all the statements they can send it to us like literally in a jiffy,
Yes.
in 1 second. It's really good, and we can show you we can demonstrate that to you. So once we do the living expense, this is like I'm just trying to compact the whole thing. So once you do the living expense, everything, after that you send the products. You never send the product without checking their living expense, without checking their borrowing capacity. It's very, very important. Okay. Once you send the products and let them select so you have to send 3 products, let them select one, and then you start preparing the application in your software, in your CRM. Once the application is ready, there are quite a few tiny steps which I'm not covering right now, which we'll do step by step later, like with the complete training session. Yeah. Once the lodgement has been done, after that the bank may come back with some sort of residual questions or documents and all that. Then you have to liaise with the customer, get the documentation, send it to the bank, and once the formal approval is done, after the valuation, I haven't sort of mentioned valuation anywhere here because it all depends which stage you get the valuation done.
Yeah.
If it's a refi close to 80%, get it done. If it's a pre-approval, you don't have the valuation.
Yeah.
Valuation is inspecting the property, valuation of the property. So
Yes.
if there's no property, if you're only looking for a property and you're just getting the pre-approval, then obviously there's no valuation at
Yeah.
that stage. So hence I didn't mention the valuation. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any terminology you guys don't understand, please let me know. Like what's a valuation, what's a credit guide, and things like that. Just let me know, okay? And then once the lodgement is done, after that residual, and then formal approval. After the formal approval, the bank will send them loan offer. That's a legal document. So those loan offers they have to sign properly, and we prefer that they sign in front of their solicitor or in front of a JP. I'm a JP personally, so they can come to the office and we can help as well. And then we send the signed, Van just told us that she's going to drop off the documents to the settlement team. So we then normally, if they're in the city, then we drop off the documents to the settlement team, so that it doesn't delay the settlement process rather than posting and all that.
Yeah, that's right.
Their offices are like literally 2 minutes away, so that's what we do. We give that extra service to our clients. So after that settlement, then obviously if you also call the clients after let's say a week or so. Banks normally give them a call to find out if they are happy or not, but we also try, we keep in touch with the client after the settlement. Are they happy? Is there any questions? Just to complete the full service, you know, rather than leaving it, okay, now they're settled, it's only a transaction. We want to create a long-term relationship with the clients, and hence, you know, give them a call after a week when they're settled, so that they understand how, you know, to apply online, to, you know, get their system online and things like that. This is in a nutshell, by the way. There are a lot of processes, tiny things which I haven't covered, because I just want to give you an overview of once you get the lead, what do you do?
Yep.
Next, what we do is next tutorial, we'll start with the lead generation. So let's say Thursday, we'll start with the lead generation, or before you go to Happy Cafe Hours today, if the weather is better, then we'll quickly do a tutorial on Happy Cafe Hours, how to approach people, what to say to them, and Fiona can also, I think Fiona's been doing it for a while, so she can also, you know, sort of explain that, yeah? Any
Sure.
questions?
No questions. Thank you so much.
Yeah, all good?
All good.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.